Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Renthal Reaction Podcast. This one about the Oakland Supercross being postponed. Yeah, that's right. Not happening this weekend. And a bit of a shock for sure. We'll touch about it with myself and Paul Perebijnos. Renthal.com, please check them out, whether it's Monster Energy Kawasaki, whether it's Factory Honda, whether it's Red Bull KTM. All of these teams have been using Renthal for years, and they trust and they know that the product will deliver. All right, let's talk some Supercross. Here with me to chat about it from Renthal. It's Paul Perebijnos. What's up, Paul?
What's up, Steve? How we doing?
Oakland. So I sent a text out to Davey Coombs because he's super smart about the history of the sport. I haven't heard back yet, but I don't believe this has happened before in our sport. I can't think of a race that has been postponed. Anaheim 05 was bad. Daytona whatever with Chad Reed 07 was bad. There's been some horrific mutters, and the show goes on. And I'm shocked. This has to be, and I haven't really dug too much digging, Paul, but this has to be a public safety thing. The area has been getting hammered, and maybe there's floods around the stadium, the pits, the seating. It's an open stadium, the seating area. I don't think this is a track and rider issue. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, honestly, and I don't know, man. There's just so much, I think, that goes into a decision like this that I have no experience with, and I'm sure things that I have no idea are a factor. But yeah, I'm with you. I was going to ask you because you're better with moto history than I am. I've only been going to Supercrosses for, I don't know, just under 20 years, but I've never seen it happen before, ever. I mean, I remember in Anaheim 2005 when we were underneath the stands of the stadium drawing names out of a hat to see who was going to race the night show. That's what happened in 2005.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is different. This is new. I wish the decision was made a day earlier. I think Wednesday is pretty late in the week to make this decision, but hey, it is what it is. I'm sure, I'm sure there's things that I'm not taking into account, but I don't know. What do we do? I guess
I talked to two teams that were on their way up there, or one of them was basically there already, because of the day. So
yeah,
you have a point there, but there's a lot of things that go into this for sure. I just thought, look, they get the stadium for cheap or free, and so all the tickets they sell are goes into their pockets, and I'm like, they're gonna race. Like I know there was rumors at Anaheim about it. I checked with somebody high up at Feld on Sunday. They're like, no, we're racing. So on Sunday they were racing, and so all this stuff on Saturday I just kind of shoved off to the side. And again, I just think it's a public safety thing because they had a modified track map. They were building a lot of 3-footers and easy doubles, so they were ready for the mud that way. I just think the government or the threat of public safety being an issue is why this race got postponed. I really do. Now there was sorry.
I was going to say, I do think teams likely had a big part in it being canceled, and I think Limegate and the history that we have with Lime is probably a big reason for it. I think a lot of motorcycles got ruined after Toronto. We saw the headaches that race caused for Feld.
San Diego. You said Toronto.
I'm sorry, San
Diego. I don't even know where you pulled that Toronto from.
How did I say Toronto?
I don't know.
But yeah, San Diego. I was a mechanic that this year at San Diego, actually. That was my last race with Dean. So,
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of motorcycles got ruined there. And I saw a photo. I can't remember where it was at. You talked to so many people at Anaheim, but they had monster trucks already at Oakland. And I saw a floor that was just covered in lime. And I think that was a big, a big point of conversation with all the teams in Feld is like, hey, we're already going out there in dirt that's filled with lime, and if it's going to be raining, that's when it causes that problem, right? When they're splashing through puddles filled with lime, and it ruins bikes. So maybe the teams had more to do with it than what we think.
Yeah, good point. I never really thought of that. You're right about that. I saw some photos on Monday, and it was just a disaster, and they're trying to move mud around, right? So more rain called for this weekend. There was some horrific mudders in the 80s. Pittsburgh 83, Atlanta 82 or 81. I'm talking just flooded. And so I'm just trying to think of races that were not moved or postponed, and those also come to mind. That the show goes on now, different time in the 1980s than now, but still, it is very, very, very odd. And look, the rumor is as of right now, there's an off weekend on February 18th. We had 2 off weekends scheduled this year instead of the traditional one. The first one coming up February 18th. Well, folks, that one looks like it's off, and They're going to try to put the Oakland race in there as of now, Wednesday, January 11th, as we record this. I don't think anything's locked in stone. The other weekend is tougher to do later on in the series and where the series leads. Even if they put it in the 18th, Paul, it's a Dallas, it's a Tampa, Oakland, Dallas thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. But I feel for, like, that sucks, and no doubt. But also, you know, if they have it this weekend, people are going to be like, why'd they have the race? My bike's destroyed. I spent all this money on it. Like, point is privateers are going to bitch no matter what. Have the race or don't have the race. Now, instead of complaining about their bike being ruined and the race going on, they're going to talk about their gas. So I feel for the Feld guys. It's a tough spot.
I do too, and I don't fault Feld on any of the decision they make here. Like, as much as this goes against your brand and you're a big advocate for the privateers, I think the privateers don't matter in this situation. I already know a lot of them that weren't even going to go to Oakland, and other ones that were preparing their practice bikes. So, the 450 privateer that is doing it on his own, he has just been added a shit ton of miles and gas money. I get that. That sucks. Maybe he just won't come. The race will still go on. It'll still be fine. The gate will still be full. Maybe that privateer just doesn't come. And it doesn't affect the 250 East team. So, I think there are bigger priorities in this situation, unfortunately, than the privateers. I hate to say that, but that's reality.
No, I agree. And as a guy that's a champion of the privateers, you can't start doing things based on those guys and all of that. And either way you do it, if you're Feld, you're kind of screwed. But I do think, going back to what I said, I don't think this is an entertainment rider, crappy track, let's worry about the fan. I think this is a public safety thing, why they're canceling it. Because if you look at NorCal, there tons of rain, tons of flooding. I heard the stadium was running on backup generators, even at the race, I heard. So, I don't think – look, the Feld guys are cool, but they're not doing this, I don't believe, for because the entertainment will be crappy. This is a safety reason.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't agree so much that it's a safety reason. I do think teams and keeping the OEMs happy, their partners, is a big piece of it. But yeah, and entertainment wise, I think it would be pretty damn entertaining to watch a mud race. So.
Well, for us, yes, but for the average fan that's showing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely makes it more difficult. And who knows, if it's going to be raining day of, a lot of fans won't show up too. So. It's fine.
I think it's fine. Look, it's just tough on around. I really like the 2 weeks off for the riders and teams, and even for the media. It was always such a hectic travel schedule. But now, they're probably going to put that Oakland race in that 18th, and that's going to be, now we're back to we're going to have 16 races in 17 weekends instead of 17 and 18.
Yep.
So yeah.
Can't force Mother Nature to do what she don't want to do.
No, absolutely not. All right, Oakland Supercross postponed. Renthal reaction, renthal.com. We'll learn more probably as the days unfold. Maybe from the reasons from the Feld guys. We'll start digging around and find out. But certainly this is unprecedented in Supercross. And so it's a really, really big deal. Before I let you go, Paul, thoughts on A1? We didn't talk to you about it on the Pulp Show. I think Sexton's got to be bummed to lead some laps and get third. Coop looked amazing. Tomac looked amazing. Mookie looked really good and can be a factor here. What'd you take away from the race?
All I know is around maybe I can't remember what lap it was. It was early in the main event. I'm watching it and I was like, this is a goddamn war. I mean, those guys, that was one of the most exciting races I've seen in a long time. It had everything and they were going for it. And it was like watching gladiators. Honestly, it was really impressive. The track was so difficult and they were taking shots at each other and it was a great race. I think people definitely need to be worried about Eli Tomac. I fully still expect Jason and Chase to be able to take it to him all the way to Salt Lake City though. And I loved watching Cooper Webb's ride. If that's the Cooper that we get every single weekend, then we have a 4-horse race for the title, in my opinion. Yeah. So yeah, man, it was cool. It was really awesome to see the stadium sold out. I think it was great racing I'm excited to watch another one. Unfortunately, we got to wait now another 7 days or so.
Yeah. What'd you think of Roxon, Renthal rider? I just thought he was okay. I'm not sounding the alarm, but he also didn't look Kenny-ish, just okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I think he'll be okay. Yeah, I guess I'm with you. I wasn't crazy impressed, but I'm not even the least bit worried too. I think you have to respect the kind of fire drill that was going on over there to get to that race, right, and be ready. So I think they can improve, and I would hope to see him in it. I want to see Kenny get a whole shot and kind of get a first clear 3 laps and then see what happens, because I think that's when he'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, that track I think added an extra layer of difficulty for everybody. Like they were just trying to survive the track and
absolutely,
get around the curbs and things like that.
Yep.
You and I have been mechanics for a long time in the sport, and I wrote about this, talked about it. I really feel for Austin Faulkner. The work that the team put in, Renthal Pro Circuit team, and the work that he put in training and the laps he built, and the mechanic working hard, and to have it all just go down. PR's cover to come out. He's out for Supercross. I really feel, because for these guys, you get a couple races in and this happens, and it sucks. Yes, I understand that also is terrible, but to do it, and at the first main event, your whole hopes and dreams, he was riding great. Oh, man, I feel for Mitch. I feel for the mechanic. I feel for Austin.
I do too. Honestly, it makes me sick and hurts me inside a little bit, because he doesn't deserve that. I know he's been through a lot and he's been polarizing, but he's also been a teenager that's been going through a lot of things in his personal life as well. And I think there's a lot of maturing that's happened with Austin in the last 12 months. And I just hate to see it. You want to at least see him be able to fight for what he's worked for. And now he's going to hit the reset button, and his knee is really bad. This is going to be a big one. So yeah, you just got to hope that he can find the motivation to push himself through therapy and rehab and get back. And, but yeah, I mean, the only, I guess, I was going to say the only positive is he wouldn't burn another year of eligibility, but now that's kind of changed now too. So that's not as big of a deal anymore. So I think he's just got to be bummed for sure. Everyone's bummed. I'm bummed as a sponsor. I'm bummed as a human, as a fan. It just sucks. Yeah. So, I feel bad.
Yeah, I definitely, he looked great. He looked fantastic right from the first time the bikes hit the track. I thought he was a level above everybody. And he probably felt that way,
Yeah, and losing him definitely will lose some excitement in the series, because he's definitely, I believe, one of the guys that could take it to Jet. And now we've lost that guy, so we'll see.
Do you think, now this hasn't really happened much lately, but do you think Peyton fills that spot?
I don't. If anything, I would say the most likely scenario would be that they would let Ryder D race, but I don't think Ryder's ready to race at that level. I think when Ryder's ready, they want him to be able to contend for a podium or something. And I don't know that he's there yet. So, and again, Jet Reynolds is healing up too. So no, I honestly don't think they will fill it.
We'll race him when it's time. We'll race Ryder D when it's time.
Sure.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, because I already got the tweets about Dylan Walsh filling in, and I'm like, those don't.
No, that's just.
Those rides don't happen anymore like that for the most part. That either the sponsors have backed away or the teams have pushed back. But the days of hey, we got to get everybody on the track, those are kind of gone. So. Yeah,
I mean, as a sponsor, I only really want to see them fill that if they're gonna put a guy on the bike that's gonna be in the top 5 or fight for podiums and wins, just to put another body on the track that's going to go and get 7th to 12th. That's just burning gas to me.
It's just burning gas.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't happen so much. So, and Jet looks great, Paul. So, I guess the only question is seriously, I don't think it's going to happen, but the kid could go undefeated. He could pull it off. I'm not betting on that.
Oh man, that's. I don't like speaking about that after one round.
Dude, come on, he's that good.
I hate it. Yes, he is very good. He's very good, and when I think you can compare him to the record holders, right? So Ricky was able to do it. Fonseca almost did it, right? So I think he's absolutely in that conversation, but I don't want to jinx the poor kid either.
Jinxes aren't real. All right.
Okay.
Renthal.com. Please check it out. How are we doing with the pod we're working on? Any new developments on that in terms of Renthal?
With the what we're working on?
The podcast and Renthal.
Oh, I think you need to follow up again, is what I think. Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
I was corresponding with him again this morning, and I think just
okay.
Take another stab at it. Try to suggest a date or a time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll try to lock that down. Really looking forward to it if that can happen. So Oakland Supercross postponed. Were you going anyways, Paul?
I was not.
Okay. All right. Well, I was. I canceled everything. This morning. So now I get to hang out with
reservations.
With my wife.
Take Pookie out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Spearmint Rhino's doing. I'll try to get a table.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate it. Renthal.com, Renthal Reaction, Oakland postponement. I understand we didn't have a whole lot of info for you people, but it's still, we wanted to discuss it anyways. And thanks, Paul.
All right. See ya.